Good evening, everyone, and my name is Joshua Ballinger. I'm going to be going over the network upgrade slash HIPAA compliance technical presentation, and my portion is patient access. This presentation will be given in segments by the group. The segments are regulations competency, that'll be done by Marquise. HIPAA security competency will be done by Brianne. Patient access will be done by myself. Network functionality and competency will be done between Madison and Christian Adams. And again, I'm going to be going over patient access. So the current situation that we have has, really no protection from crosstalk. The biggest violation that I see is the wireless setup shown here, which I just circled in, or not circled, but highlighted in this red square. The customer would like to allow patients to access the internet through the network. We need to give security to the network, especially the servers which contain patients' records and charts. The wireless network needs to be segregated. Dealing with HIPAA, you need to put in the guest network on a separate wireless access point. This access point needs to be then connected to a switch that is set up with segregating VLANs. The port needs to be on a separate network. We are going to implement those VLANs and also are going to set up separate wireless access points for the doctors with SSIDs that are not broadcasted with authentication requirements. The guest network is also going to have an SSID and password that will have policies placed for its password change. This is what we're moving, or this is again still the current network, and this is what we're going to be moving to. As you can see, there's a lot more going on here. We incorporated switches between the routers and assigned VLANs to the network. The doctor's network, the guest network, printers, routers, the printers and the servers are going to be on the same network, but they're going to be given access rules. VLANs or VLAN 30 is for the doctors, 40 is for the guests. VLAN 50 is for the printers and such, and again, that would also incorporate the servers. But the servers are going to be double protected. Or not double protected, but protected by these firewalls that are placed in between each access point to the switch from the servers. We incorporated the switches again between the routers inside VLANs and network. The VLANs are segregated so that each Ethernet port is assigned to only one VLAN. We switch the wireless routers out of the network and introduce wireless access points. These WAPs that are shown here. We assign SSID and passwords to doctors and guest networks and the WAPs, and then we program the ports on these WAPs by MAC address for all the doctors' laptops. So we took each of the doctors' laptops, every laptop and computer that could have wireless access to the doctor's network. We incorporated those in. Once we did that, we tested this by adding a cell phone to the doctor's SSID. It shut down the port that was associated with the WAP, and we had to log in with the secret Cisco to get in order to reestablish connectivity from that port. These additions to the wireless LAN, these additions that we've done as far as allowing patient access to the network for the wireless LAN and firewalls that are incorporated will allow those patients the ability to access the internet in a segregated fashion. The patient records will stay safe behind port security rules, VLAN segregation, firewall rules, and the incorporation of Active Directory. With the servers going in, that is definitely a plan, is to put in Active Directory groups, rules, policies. That way only certain individuals will have access to files as they're set on the other side of those firewalls. But with all that stuff incorporated, patients should be able to have access to the network. They are on a DHCP pool that is pushed off of that that wireless LAN or not that wireless LAN, but the VLAN and the router. So whenever one of them does input the SSID that is broadcast and the password that is given to them or is posted and continuously changed in, say, the lobby, they should be able to then be assigned a DHCP IP address, gain access to the network. Those lease times are only set for, I believe it's an hour and a half. That way, after an hour and a half, they could redraw an IP address, but they would ultimately be flushed off of the DHCP reservation, or they wouldn't have that IP address assigned to their MAC address anymore. So that, again, is in a nutshell how we're keeping patient records safe from patient access on a wireless network and allowing them to be on the internet while being segregated from sensitive data. I hope everyone has a good evening. Thank you.